Tonight on Grady Newsource, Georgia Power gives discounts on October bills. Voter registration ends today and Jackson County school programs take a hit from COVID-19. All of this and more, live at 5.
Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening, I'm Cassidy Hannon. Welcome to Grady Newsource. If you are a Georgia Power customer, you may be getting a discount this month. Residential customers will be given an $18 reduction to their October bills. Grady Newsource reporter Kate Hester found out why.
Most people have power boxes like this one here on or around their house. But who supplies the power? For over 390,000 of us here in Northeast Georgia, that supplier is Georgia Power. Active customers of Georgia Power will potentially receive a credit on their October 2020 bill, so long as they have been with the company since December of 2019. A Georgia Power press release said that the typical residential customer using 1,000 kilowatts per month will receive an estimated $13 credit to their bill. Tom Cross, the Public Information Officer for the Georgia Public Service Commission, says that the company is the main service provider for the state.
Georgia Power is the main power producer for and provider for the state. Because of that, they are regulated by the PSC to ensure they provide the services required of them, but they are also guaranteed a certain amount of profit because they are a private company.
Cross explained that the company was guaranteed a 10 to 12% return on investment by the PSC for the 2019 fiscal year. They ended up earning 12.88%, so they were returning the $61.6 million back to the consumer. The October credit is the third refund this year and the first based on the 2019 fiscal year. Kate Hester, Grady Newsource.
Today is the last day to register to vote in the state of Georgia for the November general election. For Athens-Clarke County, Board of Elections Assistant Lisa McLawn is one of the officials who will process the registrations.
Every voter registration that we have in the system on our dashboard to process has to be processed by us before the end of the day so that everyone who's registered, even up to the deadline, can vote. So they should be able to go to the first early voting, which starts on October 12th.
You can go to accgov.com and click the Board of Elections department to find the links to register to vote, check your registration status, or to request an absentee ballot. Advanced voting begins for all counties on Monday, October 12th at 8 a.m. In Athens-Clarke County, you can vote at the Board of Elections office at 155 East Washington Street. The Jackson County school system is urging all parents and students to take advantage of the free and reduced lunch program, whether students are learning in person or digitally from home. Grady Newsource reporter Cheyenne Jones has the story.
I'm here today at the Gordon Street Center located just off Gordon Street in Jefferson, Georgia. Some of the staff for the various departments of the Jackson County school system work here, with the nutrition program being included in that group. Dr. Morris, the head director of the nutrition program, says that COVID-19 has affected their program's participation rate. More than 1,800 students have opted to do digital learning from home, and many of those students qualify for reduced lunch but have not renewed their applications.
It's our desire that every family completes a free and reduced lunch application form. That's good for our meal program, that's good for our title programs, that's good for our technology programs with our E-rate funding. So many things are tied to our free and reduced lunch percentage rate.
The nutrition program is the only revenue-producing department for the school system, so lack of participation due to online learning has placed strain on funding for food bids and other school programs. Availability of certain food items has also become scarce as COVID-19 impacts individual facilities' ability to maintain food production and packaging lines, making it difficult to maintain the integrity of lunch menus that are sometimes planned a month in advance.
Prices have risen astronomically for a variety of reasons. Once again, a lot of those shortages and a lot of the things that are being substituted that are now on our requested bid and we are being forced to pay the market price for those things.
Assistant Superintendent Ted Gilbert says that though they cannot control changes outside their system, like some vendor pricing, they can strive to meet the new challenges. The program has received some additional funding to assist the program and help offset certain costs. Despite some challenges, students and parents are still benefiting from the program.
All three of my kids had reduced lunch. And it helped us because that was a burden that we didn't really have to worry about.
Among the 10 schools in the county, Jackson County Comprehensive High School is one of many participating in the nutrition program.
Is make that available and accessible to every kid, whether they're in class or whether they're at home, right? And let folks know that that's something that is accessible to them.
With the pandemic, going back to school is different these days. So what does it actually mean when a student tests positive for COVID-19? Grady Newsource reporter Molly English has more.
The Oconee County School System released its updated COVID-19 numbers on Friday on their website here. There are only 6 active COVID cases in the district right now. 112 students who have come in close contact with a person positive with COVID are in active quarantine. Oconee County has given parents and students an option when it comes to returning to the classroom this year. But for the 8,000 or so students and staff who have opted for the in-person learning this year, what does it mean when you've come in close contact with a positive COVID case? Responsibility to notify the school falls on the parent of the positive student. Those who have been in close contact with that student are then notified by the school. What's close contact? Well, according to the Georgia Department of Public Health, it's whenever you're within 6 feet of a positive COVID case for 15 minutes or more, 2 days before they start exhibiting symptoms or test positive. Quarantining, however, varies in schools. If your child is an asymptomatic or symptomatic carrier of COVID-19, the quarantining period is the same across the board, 10 days. For those in close contact and who stay asymptomatic and negative, it's a full 14 days before they can return to school. For more information on what you should do if you or your child test positive in Oconee County Schools, visit the link below at oconeecountyschools.org/reopening. With Grady Newsource, I'm Molly English. And now, Grady Newsource reporter Jack Sadigan has more on COVID-19 in Oglethorpe County Schools.
I'm here at Oglethorpe County High School, which currently has 4 of the 10 active coronavirus cases in the county. That's the highest to this point in the Oglethorpe County school system. And talking to Mary Beth Sexton, an infectious disease expert and professor at Emory, she said the cases in schools largely depend on the surrounding community.
So these things feed each other. So if you've got a lot of spread in the community, you're absolutely going to have people in your school building who have COVID. And then if you concentrate a lot of people in a school building, you may spread COVID further and people may carry that back to the community.
As a county, Oglethorpe has had 26 coronavirus cases in the past 2 weeks, and the school is currently quarantining students that were in close contact with active coronavirus cases. From Oglethorpe, Jack Sadigan, Grady Newsource.
Coming up, a homework assignment in Oglethorpe County raises concerns, and the Watkinsville Police Department gets an update to their operations.
Okay, so we drowned the fire,
Yep.
stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
An Oglethorpe County school found itself making headlines after one of its assignments was posted on social media. Newsource reporter Jayla Norman has more.
An elementary school writing assignment asks students to write journal entries in which they imagine themselves as slaves who are considering running away. The end of the text even notes that most slaves were not educated, therefore allowing for students the option to make their work more realistic by instead choosing to write conversations between slaves rather than an actual journal entry. Twitter users chimed in, noting their disapproval for the assignment. According to Wellesley College professor Kelly Carter Jackson, the runaway slave narrative that this assignment creates is the source of such controversy.
It creates this false narrative that if you wanted to walk away, you could. And that the reason why the majority of people didn't walk away was maybe because they were happy, or maybe because it was fine, or maybe because the masters weren't all that bad.
UGA student Caleb Kelly agreed. As a young Black man who attended a predominantly white private school growing up, he understands what kind of effects assignments like these can have on the way young white students view their Black peers.
I'm getting frustrated right now that they're being told to speak dumb language and they're imitating Black people. So that's where it comes from. That comes from of them not seeing Black people as educated. And if there are Black educated students, then that means they're talking white.
The assignment is part of an elementary curriculum provided by Accelerate Education. Oglethorpe County Schools partnered with Accelerate Education for a virtual curriculum this school year. Accelerate Education released a statement via email noting that they strive to create diversity and provide staff with cultural sensitivity training. The statement does not confirm whether or not the assignment will be removed from their curriculum permanently. Jayla Norman, Grady Newsource.
Footage from patrol cars and police body cameras have become a mainstay in national news as a summer of officer-involved shootings has gripped the country. But until recently, the Watkinsville Police Department didn't have cameras in the cars or body cameras for every officer. Grady Newsource reporter Nathan Moore tells us how the department is catching up with the times, and more importantly, why now?
It's about time. As of last week, for the first time in the department's history, every officer in every patrol car in the Watkinsville Police Department will be wearing a camera. Patrol car and body cameras have long been a basic necessity for any law enforcement agency, and for Police Chief Shannon Brock, the decision to implement the cameras has been long overdue.
Council and the mayor hired me to bring me in. They wanted a professional police department. This goes a long way to meeting and satisfying that professional status. Because it goes a long way to us having the ability to be transparent.
He added that the cameras will help build a sense of trust within the community that he says is absolutely necessary for his job.
My job is to make connections with the community and do that through bridge building connections. And I can't do that if the community and the general public at large don't trust us.
The recent police-involved shootings throughout the country has shown just how important it is to have accountable and transparent law enforcement, and that's a big reason why the decision to add these cameras was pushed through by the Watkinsville City Council.
It is important more than ever for everybody's protection, both police officers and the public, that there is accountability. I just think any responsible police department should have something like this.
Even though Watkinsville is a relatively quiet town, resident Gary Anderson is glad to have the cameras for his sake and the officers. It certainly is about time. I think it's a good thing. It protects the residents as well as the police officers. Nathan Moore, Grady Newsource.
Happy beautiful Monday, everybody. I'm Jenna Maddox, and coming up, I'll be bringing you the weather forecast and what you can expect outdoors this week.
Hi,
I'm Peter. There's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in.
Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Attention travelers, next Tuesday a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Food, water, and phone service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
And now, the weather.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Jenna Maddox, bringing you your Grady Newsource weather. Today, we're going to be talking about today's forecast, the 5-day forecast, and some fun activities you can do here in Athens. All right, taking a look at tonight's evening planner, we're going to be at 73 degrees at 6 p.m. It's going to be sunny and clear. We're going to hit 64 at 9 p.m. and a low of 59 at midnight. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's day planner here in Athens. We're going to start out at 58 degrees at 9 a.m. We're going to hit 71 degrees at noon and a high of 77 at 3 p.m. Now let's take a look at the low temperatures overnight tonight in northeast Georgia. We're going to stay in the low 50s, but we're going to be hitting 54 here in Athens. And taking a look at the high temperatures in northeast Georgia tomorrow, we're going to basically stay in the high 70s, though Rome is going to hit a high of 82 degrees, and it's going to be 78 here in Athens. Now let's take a closer look at our forecast overnight tonight. We're going to hit a low of 54 degrees. It's going to be mostly clear out with a 2% chance of rain. And taking a look at tomorrow's forecast, we're going to hit a high of 78 degrees. It's going to be sunny and clear. All right, and we're going to take a look at our 5-day forecast for the rest of this week. It's going to be mostly sunny. We're going to see some clouds coming in on Thursday with a chance of rain on Friday. Now, if you're looking for some fun outdoor activities to do in this beautiful Athens weather this week, here are some ideas. Try geocaching. Search for coordinates and find caches people leave behind, like one somewhere here at the Washington parking deck in downtown Athens. Athens-Clarke County is hosting a pumpkin hunt here at Lay Park for the whole family. Visit the park on Friday night to hunt for some Halloween candy. Grab a blanket and a snack and head over to UGA's historic North Campus Quad. There's plenty of room to spread out and enjoy the beautiful weather this week. Reporting in Athens, Jenna Maddox, Grady Newsource.
Coming up, the Deep South's oldest rivalry met for its 125th meeting this past Saturday. Plus, the UGA women's soccer team continues their impressive run to start the season.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
And now, sports.
I did think we played really physical tonight. And I think when you play Auburn, that's where it starts, is a line of scrimmage and physicality.
The University of Georgia football team had a huge matchup this past weekend with longtime foe Auburn. And what would have been a huge weekend for fans, especially with College game day rolling into town, the extracurriculars were slowed down due to the COVID-19 guidelines set from the UGA athletic department. But that doesn't mean electricity wasn't in the air, as Sanford Stadium was rocking this past Saturday for the Deep South's oldest rivalry. This game always brings out the energy in fans, as it's always a great matchup, but it has been dominated recently by the Dogs, as they've won every home game since 2007 and have won 3 straight against their old foe, the Tigers. What's next for Kirby Smart and the team? Well, now the third-ranked Bulldogs will remain at home this week, playing against the Tennessee Volunteers in Athens. From Grady Newsource, I'm Alex Joyce.
Coming up after this, find out what UGA researchers blasted off into space.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
The University of Georgia now has a spacecraft that is part of the International Space Station after it launched its first ever research satellite into space on Friday. It will deploy in a few weeks, and from there, the scientific mission will begin. Newsource reporter Danielle Harvey has more about the university's accomplishment.
NASA launched the University of Georgia's first ever research satellite into space, and it is now attached to the International Space Station. Weather conditions caused a few delays in the launch, but the SPOC, short for Spectral Ocean Color, had liftoff aboard an Antares rocket from a NASA flight facility in Virginia on Friday. The satellite will zoom in on coastal areas to detect chemical composition and physical characteristics on ocean and wetland surfaces, which means that it will be able to identify underlying conditions of and detect the health levels of Georgia coast ecosystems. Its advanced optics system allows us to see colors and wavelengths that aren't visible to the naked eye. The SPOC does all of that and is only the size of a loaf of bread. It will deploy in November, and that is when the real action begins. This project is all thanks to the Small Satellite Research Lab student-led effort, which David Cotton, the program's lab supervisor, says is nothing short of incredible.
It was built by students. I mean, the faculty, myself and other faculty had roles in, helping to manage the students and guide them and mainly direct them towards the science goals we wanted, but they were the ones that made most engineering decisions, and actually no faculty touched any parts of the satellite, only the students did. And that is truly incredible that, they were the ones that led the charge and put this thing together and got it to space.
The team won a highly competitive research grant from NASA to secure a spot on a rocket. The satellite they created will provide valuable data to researchers at UGA and beyond. Going above and beyond through this project has even allowed some of the students to land internships with NASA and jobs at other private aerospace firms.
I think if you were to tell them as a freshman coming to UGA that you're going to have a job in the space industry, they would not believe you.
Danielle Harvey, Grady Newsource.
Thank you for watching Grady Newsource. I'm Cassidy Hannon. Have a good night.
Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
Hello.
Hi. I'm from Blue Hood Stonebarns. We brought a meal for you and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more?
Come
on in.
Brochettes, the sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, they're the end pieces of the zucchini, and then the cores that we cut away, not to mention zucchini flour. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that,
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
Wow, well, zucchini stem pasta. A different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Laughing too hard at one of your colleagues' jokes at the office party? She's not even funny. Warning sign. Those drinks are probably going to your head. Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod.
I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.